up, everybody? I'm Jared Welch, and welcome to the official beginning of our top 10 for the Kentucky Derby. This is something we've been doing for obviously months at this point with the NTRA poll. So Halterman and I, Aaron Halterman, the two founders of Racing Dudes, myself and him, are official members of the voting with NTRA. So it's all the industry experts, if you want to call us that. And we do that every single week. We rank the top three or the top 3-year-olds and then the top older horses, all the overall. So we do that within the NTRA poll. But the last several weeks, I've been making a post on the website at racingdudes.com with our official kind of consensus of the top 10. So my picks, his picks, taking those together, kind of coming up with a consensus of the top 10 between the Racing Dudes. So I've been doing a post for that on the website at racingdudes.com. I'll put the link in the bottom here for that article this week. But, now that the racing's getting bigger and more important as we go to the lead up to the Kentucky Derby, I thought, let's start making videos so we kind of explain, or I can explain my top 10, Halterman's top 10 a little bit further and see where some of these horses are aiming as we get closer to the Kentucky Derby. All right. Let's start with 10. We're going to go 10 through 1 that way. Further ado, so as you can see here on the list, 8 through 10 for Halter and I are essentially the same, just slightly different orders. Further ado for us both, I've got him at 10, he had him at 9. Bluegrass Stakes seems to be the probable for his next start, which is a very important start. He came back off the long layoff in the Tampa Bay Derby. Looked good, looked like he needed the race, but I do think there is some potential that he should improve in his next start. So, I thought he did enough. Obviously, he did enough as a 2-year-old, and then he did enough in that debut. So I still think there's some upside with him, but a big, important race for him in the Bluegrass Stakes. Potente, I had 8. He's got 10. Looked awesome, right? He did enough in the San Felipe, only making a second start. Numbers came back light. I still think he has a lot to prove. Is going to need to prove a lot in order to kind of keep going up the list. But obviously, and this is kind of the theme of this year, right? A lot of these horses on our top 10, horses that are not even in the top 10, have a ton of upside still, or at least potential upside. Horses that are very lightly raced, horses like the Puma, Potente, even Renegade we'll see coming up soon in the Arkansas Derby, Chief Wallaby, Class President, horses like that have a lot to prove in these final starts, these final preps as we get to the Kentucky Derby. So these going to be big races for them. So Potente, he's got a 10. I had at 8. The Puma, I had at 9. He had at 8. The Puma is still, I would think, Bluegrass, but neither is confirmed. Florida Derby or Bluegrass for the Puma in that next start. So that'll be a big race for him, especially the Florida Derby, because the Florida Derby, you got Paladin going to the Bluegrass. You got the Florida Derby, which is going to be just an insane race with Commandment and Chief Wallaby and Nearly. So, we'll see where that horse ends up. Obviously going to be a big-time class test in that race from the Tampa Bay Derby. Renegade's a super interesting horse. I have at 7. Halterman has at 5. The Arkansas Derby is the probable start. Big move for Todd Pletcher. Interesting that Class President, who won the Rebel, kind of is MIA in terms of where they're going to start. I put the Bluegrass Stakes, but we don't really know for sure yet. Renegade is confirmed. He's coming to the Arkansas Derby. That's been the plan. He's a horse that, to me, being there in the consensus 7 spot, he can move all the way up to like top 3 easy, or he could fall off the top 10. That Arkansas Derby is a big time spot for him. And we'll see. It's not going to be easy because the horse that's just that I have ranked a little bit ahead of him, Halterman has below him, is number 6, Silent Tactic. But we know that horse is going to be the Arkansas Derby. He's done nothing but run well at Oaklawn. He's very proven. It's not going to be easy. He showed that in the last race, nearly getting the win in the Rebel to Class President. But you can kind of expect what you're going to get from him. So Silent Tactic at 6, another race, Arkansas Derby coming up next for him. All right, before we move on to the top 5, I wanted to go ahead and throw out the new betting Bible is available right now at racingdudes.com. It's a complete refresh. Every bit of the information is easier to access. It's all on the dashboard. No more PDFs, scratches. Updates are instant. You can see exactly when it was posted. The content, Everything is available just at the fingertips. Makes it faster to make bets. You got a wagering calculator on there. Top 4 from all the handicappers. Everything you're used to seeing in the betting Bibles. Only it's like on steroids and way easier to access just in your dashboard. We have 2 available this weekend with the Louisiana Derby and the Jeff Ruby Stakes. We're going to basically be doing every single Derby prep between now and the end here. And then, of course, Derby, Preakness, Belmont. All those will be available. And they are for free if you are a premium subscriber. They're, the $30 each. If you want to buy them on your own, that's fine. But let's say you play both those this weekend, it's $60. Or you can pay as low as $70 a month for the premium subscription and get them for free. And then you have picks for the whole month, including the upcoming betting Bibles. So it's kind of a no-brainer deal there. But go check out the betting Bible right now over at racingdudes.com. All right, now let's take a look at the last 5 here, the top 5 that Halterman and I have in our rankings. So looking there at number 5, nearly. I have 6. Halterman has 4, so it's right there in the middle at 5. The Florida Derby is up. Is it up next? Does it not feel like this horse ran 2 years ago? I mean, the Holy Bull was awesome, but it has just been so long. So that's a horse that you gotta respect, you gotta like. But the Florida Derby is going to be such a tough race between Chief Wallaby and Commandment and Nearly. So lots to be proven there between 3 of the top 5 in that race for us. Class president, I have 3. Halterman has 6. Again, I put the Bluegrass coming up next. That's not been confirmed. There's even been some talks of training up to the Derby, which I hate, absolutely hate. I think that'd be just a terrible decision and would almost just take him out of consideration for me in the Kentucky Derby. Class president, though, he's just got so much upside. He's a lot like Chief Wallaby in that sense that, made that, his first 2-turn debut in the Rebel and was pretty awesome doing it. So I've got him ranked pretty high. We'll see, though. He needs to come back in one of these final preps for me to keep him that high. All right, let's look at our top 3. Paladin, I've got 5. He's got 3. He's going to be in the Bluegrass Stakes coming up as well. So if those two do match up, that'll be fun. But Paladin, to me, Paladin could easily go to a number 1 at the end of this thing. He just, he has only made that 1 start in the Risen Star. It was fine. I mean, as far as this year, it was fine. He did enough to win. He's going to need to improve more off that, which I don't think there's any, reason why he won't. Right. So I have him kind of I'm kind of like, all right, let's see that next start before I bump him up. But certainly in the mix, definitely a Derby winner candidate. All right, the top 2, Chief Wallaby and Commandment. We both have number 2 and 1 together. And I think him and I both agree as well that if you kind of put who do we think is the best horse, I think we would say Chief Wallaby, but obviously Commandment's got the nudge on him, both in experience and the head-to-head. So that's why Chief Wallaby falls at 2, Commandment at 1. Certainly expect that thing to either be confirmed or swapped depending on what happens in the Florida Derby. But I think Chief Wallaby's got a ton of upside. Commandment is just he can't really knock him at this point. I don't know that he's going to be his best at the Derby distance. That's kind of my pause with him. But you can't sit here and knock him. And so at this point, so I think he's number 1, and he deserves to be number 1 as of now. All right, so it's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. That's the look at the list at this point, March 17th. Obviously, more coming. We'll have this list will be dramatically changed over the coming weeks as these final preps take place this weekend. Again, we have the Louisiana Derby. No one in the Louisiana Derby in this top 10 currently. I could certainly see a few of them making a move into that top 10 next week, depending on what happens. And then we have the Jeff Ruby Stakes, which obviously is going to qualify a horse or two. Not sure what's going to come out of that in terms of Derby contenders, but we'll talk more about that next week. Again, if you like this video, if you like our content, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. And hey, in the comments below, let me know who are you liking as we head into these final preps and in the Kentucky Derby. Until next time, I'm Jared Welch. We'll see you guys.